I appreciate that you have a show that at least lets people know that these are some of the things that are happening in the world right now, and that whether they're easy to talk about, I would suggest people may want to think about before going to bed tonight.
So Chris, like, tell us how big of an event, what's going on and could happen in terms of like the global markets collapsing.
Well, first of all, Justin, thank you so much for inviting me onto your show. I appreciate that. And perhaps rather than why take my opinion for it, I mean, who knows who I am? Can you check the financial markets and let's take the market's opinion.
Big day in the markets today. January's payroll report on Friday could be rough, with as many as 400,000 jobs lost, according to one estimate, and other estimates are close to that $400,000 mark. This article is written by Jeff Cox, published on Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. Here's the key points. Judging by the opinions of some, 2222, by the way. Judging by the opinions of some major Wall Street forecasters, employment either slowed to a crawl or perhaps even turned negative in January. ADP reported Wednesday that companies slashed 301,000 jobs in the month. PNC is expecting Friday's payroll report to show a decline of 400,000, while Goldman Sachs is forecasting a drop of 250,000. The consensus forecast is for a gain of 150,000.
So one estimate is saying PNC, which we see in bullet 3, PNC is expecting Friday's payroll report to show a decline of 400,000, while Goldman Sachs, the same bank that has a track record that includes Carl Levin talking about the shitty deal they sold during the subprime crisis to their customer, and a whole bunch of other things. People call him the vampire squid and whatnot. And then there's Jeff Curry, the commodity chief of Goldman Sachs. So these guys are felons, and CNBC is looking at their estimate. But I guess where I'm a little confused here is what do you think next month is going to be now that Facebook is down 20%? Do you think that they revise some of those numbers? So it's not really my opinion that's relevant in trading. It's the market opinion. So I guess I would ask, what do you make out of that?
The market thinks probably generally there's been a lot of damage done over the last 2 years. The tech stocks have been on an unstoppable bull run. The stock markets have been on an unstoppable bull run. And there are not only corrections along the way, but also like considerable market turnarounds. And I mean, we might be heading in a bear market finally, although with so much money being printed, this might be a blip. There also might be like some sort of like stock war going on, particularly with Facebook. Facebook faces so many challenges along the way, like advertisers pulling out, saying that they're not censoring their platform enough, although they're censoring their platform. And now we see today that it in particular has taken a huge hit. Now, what's interesting is we had Facebook get into Diem, which was their essentially private digital currency. And apparently it's been an abject failure. They took it on the chin from Congress and Senate, probably namely from kind of the more, I guess, socialist minded people in government. And then also they now ventured into the metaverse. And before both of those, they had Oculus. So, I mean, is this just Facebook is trying to get into future technologies too early and bleeding money for a platform that makes all of its money off of attention, essentially, and maybe not necessarily any innovation? So maybe innovation is in Facebook's forte. However, I think what's most notable, Chris, is the date today, 2/2/22. I think that is a very interesting thing here, and it suggests that there's some sort of significance behind this event, that it isn't just random, in my opinion. Like, what a coincidence.
Today's February 2nd. Do you think the price of Facebook, can you pull that back up? Based on everything you're seeing now, do you think that the job number on Friday is going to be a sign of economic strength? Or how do you think people are going to feel about that one?
I think that the
Because
trucker,
I'm guessing that if Facebook is even at the moment, hey, who knows where it ends up tomorrow? But if Facebook is currently down 20% in the context of the world we're living in today, where people are honking their trucks at Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, who went missing for 2 days and then had a rather unusual press conference on Monday, which I'll look forward to talking with you more about. I have a video that I'm going to finish editing on that press conference tonight. With all that happening, I'm curious how the markets are going to react when that labor report comes out on Friday. And for people who have been wondering what is the difference between physical silver and paper silver, like SLV, if people wonder why Bitcoin could go from $1 to $60,000, but then wonder why silver traded at $50 in 1980 yet is around $22 or $23 today, I wonder how all that's going to look in a couple of weeks.
I think it's notable also that gold seems to be holding up pretty well. It's above 1800 currently. Silver too, it's at 2261. That's essentially where it's been for quite a while. But it's in events like this gone down to as low as $12 in recent memory. That's pretty dramatic compared to what is happening today. It's convenient for the world, of course, that crude oil Brent is going up as all of this is happening. I do want to kind of like take a step back. So Facebook, let's kind of dig in a little bit deeper before we close up, Chris.
Sure.
So Facebook shares plunge more than 20% on
wow, $74. Goodness. See that at the bottom there? Down 22.91%. Facebook is now down $74. Goodness. They're gonna have to sell a lot of Facebook ads.
All right. We have this news. Big breaking news today, big day on the markets. Facebook shares plunge more than 20% on weak earnings. Big forecast miss. Facebook earnings came in below expectations for the fourth quarter, and the company said numerous challenges are ahead in the first quarter. So inflation, supply chain disruptions at advertisers and users shifting to products that monetize at lower rates are among the key issues the company faces. Revenue in the first quarter will be between 27 billion and 29 billion. While analysts were looking for that number to top 30 billion. And Chris, you can see the effect of that in the chart today on Facebook.
I do.
And you can see it over the 5 days.
I think I can get an idea of what tomorrow's chart's going to look like. And we're maybe the day after that or the couple days after that, I could take a guess.
So Facebook shares tumbled more than 20% in extended trading on Wednesday after the company reported disappointing earnings. So, Chris, in conclusion, what do you make of this big day on the markets ahead of our big talk coming up here real soon?
I think Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau and a lot of other people are about to find out that the economy isn't as strong as they think. And now, as people are going to sleep tonight, for example, my mom, she's almost 80 years old. I don't know what her financial exact status is. I mean, she has enough money to live in today's hyperinflationary culture. So I say this in a sense, somewhat emblematic of a culture where maybe a lot of the political pressures supported the last thing the governments have left to target are some 401k plans. A lot of whom are invested in stocks that dropped 25% after the close today. I wonder, hey, maybe the Fed will print more money. Facebook, it's possible. Maybe it'll be up 50% tomorrow. But there's going to be a lot of things for people to think about as they go to sleep tonight and wonder what is the safest place to put the results, because money is a vague term. What is money? It's a form of energy, transfer of wealth, dollar, a Bitcoin, a gold, silver, a house, real estate. We have limited time here today, and I appreciate you giving me this chance to be on your show. And these are the things I will be thinking about as I go to sleep tonight, because I'm grateful to be alive today with some of the things that I see going on in the world and some of the things I've been through and that I know a lot of other people are going through right now. So I don't take any of this lightly. I appreciate that you have a show that at least lets people know that these are some of the things that are happening in the world right now. and that whether they're easy to talk about, I would suggest people may want to think about before going to bed tonight.
There you have it, folks. Just a quick update today with Chris Marcus of Arcadia Economics. You can see his work on YouTube and elsewhere. And as we saw, Chris drew my attention to this big news and wanted to talk briefly on it. So thank you, Chris, so much for sharing your thoughts on a historic day, February 2nd, 2022.
Appreciate that, Justin. Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate what you're doing, and hope we'll be able to do this many more times going forward.
Likewise. Talk to you soon, Chris. Thank you so much.